Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. Let's go ahead and charge this up here. Oh, let's do this here. Oh, let me go to my comments. Sorry. Hi, Stephanie. Thank you for joining me tonight. Oops. No, you're not going to get on my lap. That's not going to happen. Not today. No. No, no, no. How was your weekend? How are you doing today? All right, I got some people watching. All right, we got 7 people. I just want to pull up. Hi, Nicole. Pull up on my second screen my scenario game. And I'm going to wait a little bit and I want to see what everybody wants to do. Do you guys want me to talk about my topics first, or do you want me to do the scenario game first? Hi, Terry. It is going great. Thank you so much for asking. I talked a little bit about it. Was it last Monday? I think I talked about it on last Monday. That's good, Stephanie. I saw that really pretty and vibrant color dress that you wore. Oh my God. Oh my God. That dress was awesome. I was looking like, oh my goodness. You were so pretty. Let's see. Okay, talk about my topics first. Okay. I was thinking that, but I wanted to see what you guys thought. So let me find. Here we go. I just want to have it up over here on the other screen. All right. That dress was so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Where did you find that dress? Like, don't you just love when you find a good fit like that? It's like I want to wear it more than once. Hi, Bernita. Hi, Gail. All right, so I got enough people on, so let's go ahead. All right, so first thing I wanted to talk about was um do I yes, your website. Okay, so was it wasn't this past Saturday. It was Saturday before that. We did, or was it was Sunday. We did a Google ad workshop. Okay. How many of you guys? Oh, that's how, yeah. Online boutiques are like that. You find the best, most unique fits. Um, did anybody do their Google ad? How is it going? How's your Google ad doing? I want to know that first. I did my Google ad and it's doing okay. It's not doing great. I think it would do great if I was able to put more money towards it. Um, but it's doing okay for the amount of money that I'm making and for the terms and for the words that I used and for some of the images. Okay. All right. Well, Stephanie, was this your first one? I kind of feel like Google ads are, I just think they're okay. And the reason I say that is because I already get a lot of visits. I'm sorry, a lot of visits and hits on my Google listing. So the Google ad kind of just ups it a little bit, but I kind of feel like I'm still getting um, the same, results. Not doing the ad. So okay, so you learn from your first experience. That's how that's going to work. So your second one will probably do even better. And so let's talk about website. Okay. I did tell all you guys that those of you who are using Google Business Profile, the website that it creates is going to be inactivated. starting March. And then I think it said come, what was that, May? It's not going to be there at all. So when people click on website under your Google business profile, it's going to take them nowhere. So if you have a different website that you're using, make sure you put the website address there. So when people click it, they go to your website. Now you can still have a free website. All you have to do is go to sites.google.com and create one. It's easy peasy. It's a drag and drop. It's nothing fancy, but it serves the purpose that you need it to serve. Okay. Yep. You can use Wix. Mhm. Just make sure you update your website address though, because if you're using the Google Business Profile website that's connected to it, it's not going to work anymore. So make sure you go on your page and update your website address. Hi, Nona. All right. Website analytics. And I know a lot of you guys are looking like, I don't know what that is. So if you're not using a Google Sites website, you are able to, well, you know what? That's not true because with Google websites, they do have a app that's called Analytics. And I do have it on my phone. And I could look at that too. But what is the Google Analytics, first of all? Okay. Excuse me. The Google Analytics is what you want to look at to see how your website is performing. It shows you when your customers go on the website, what pages they visit, how long they're on the pages. It even will go into a little bit more detail and tell you that, when a person scrolls a third of your page, they bounce off. And so the reason why you want to pay attention to your Google Analytics is not Google, just your website analytics. It's going to tell you how your website is performing. So today, I was looking at one of my old travel agent buddies' posts on Facebook, and she was saying that she was on social media and she saw something that she was interested in purchasing, right? She clicked to go to the person's website. The website was so confusing that she got off of it. And she was like, I was really interested in purchasing the product, but when I got on the website, I was confused as to how I could do it. So I just got off. So now I'm not going to be able to purchase the product. And I just want to let all business owners know if you have a website, make sure that it's user friendly. Make sure it is easy to follow. When your customers go to your website, they need to find exactly what they're looking for. They need to know exactly what they need to know. And then they need to be able to book you or call you. Okay. That is easy to do. But for some people, they don't put a lot of TLC into their website. So with me looking and reading at her Facebook post, right? I check my website analytics and I'm usually pretty good at checking this information out. Maybe quarterly. I won't say monthly. I checked my website analytics and it said that I was having a lot of bounces. Now, what do you think that means? I'm getting a lot of bounces on my website. I got to get my eyebrows done, y'all. My eyebrows are tore up. I want someone to put in the comments and tell me, what do you think it means when I go onto my analytics for my website and I see that there are a lot of bounces? Let me see if you guys can tell. I knew what it was right away, but I want to see if you guys know. I don't. Yes, Stephanie. And Gail, I don't know what you mean by your question. Doesn't Google business page for you? So tell me what you mean by that, just so I can understand what you're asking. Vernita, yeah. So what it was meaning was there are a lot of links on my website that are not going where I want them to go. So you guys are right, Stephanie and Vernita. So I am my website, I got a lot going on my website. Okay. I feel like it's a simple website, but it is very informational. And so I had to go on there and click. Yes, Gail, you're right. People are clicking on things and it's not taking them to where it's supposed to take them. So as a result, people are probably just going to leave my website, right? Because my website does a really good job of turning leads into customers. But you can understand that it would fail in doing that if when people click, it's not going to where it's supposed to go, right? So today I had to spend the time, which is the sucky part about having a website. I will tell you, you spend a lot of time on it and you have to because if nothing is working the way it's supposed to, you have to go on there. You got to troubleshoot it. I've had several different websites from several different hosts for several years. So I kind of just know what to do and how to do it. So I went on there, had to click on everything that was clickable, and I had to fix it. And it was a big headache, but I fixed it. So it's good. So, excuse me, I'm going to give it a month and I'm going to check my analytics again and I'm going to see if that worked. But most of the time, when people go on my website and they find what they're looking for, they call me or they schedule an appointment right from my website. So my website does really good on that. But you want to check your website analytics on a regular basis. Like I said, I do it quarterly, you know what I'm saying? Just to make sure things work. And you also want to go on there because you need to update your information. If you've made any changes in your business, your website needs to match what your other business pages on the internet says. Doesn't Google business page do the same as an official website? Yes, it does, but Google Business Profile, they are going to deactivate that website feature. So when people go to your Google business page, it's just going to be a page. It's not going to give them any other information that they would maybe be looking for. It does tell them the basics: who you are, where you're located, your phone number, what services you provide, and how to reach you by email. I think email's on there. I'm not really sure, but most people who are looking to do business with businesses, they prefer you have a website presence. I mean, they just do because some people feel like if you don't have a website, you're not a real business. Maybe you're just doing it as a hobby or whatever. So that's why I was saying if you're using Google Business Profiles already put together website, because it generates a website from the information you put on your page. That's not going to be available anymore. Google Business Profile is doing away with it. And starting March, people are not going to be able to see that website that it created for you. So you will have to have a different website if you want, or you could have no website at all and just have them visit the Google Business Profile page. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, so making sure your information matches. So in me going on my website and making sure all of my links were clickable and going to the right place, I saw that some of my information was outdated. And I still have to go on there too because I need to change my fax feature. I'm canceling my fax subscription because I don't get a whole lot of people who need to send or receive faxes. Some people need to send them. So I have a free fax app for that. So I'm not going to pay. They went up. I used to pay $99 a year for fax service, and I've used it for years. Last year, they went up to $124. And so I paid it, but this year I'm canceling it. I'm not doing that. I don't, that's an expense I don't need. Okay. So in any event, check your website analytics. Make sure your website is converting the leads to customers. Okay. And make sure all your information matches. Okay. Now, let's talk about taxes and deductions. I have a link here. Wanted to share. Let me find it Hold on. I know you guys are probably seeing a black screen right now, but give me a second to find the link. Okay, got it. Copy the text here. Let's move this over. I wanted to share this, and I wanted to share something else. I don't remember. I'm gonna have to type it in. Let me share my screen right quick. All right. So for those of you who own businesses, okay, this is the schedule for when you have to pay your estimated tax as a business. Okay. So, in order for you to figure out how much tax you have to pay, you're going to have to fill out this form. And I have the form. Let me see. Ugh, it's on my desktop. It's on my desktop on this page. Hold on. Here. All right. Okay. You guys can see that, right? Let's move this and move this. And I'm not going to bore you guys too much with this. This is something that I had to do because, I'm a full-time business. So this is something that I'm going to have to do. So I had to figure out, and I think I showed you guys this already. I had to figure out how much I was going to be paying in taxes. I went to this form. I clicked on the instructions on how to figure it out. And I filled out the information, and I know how much I have to pay a month based on the information I got from here. Okay. So you can go on the website, IRS website for free. Okay. Don't go on Facebook and people are telling you, yeah, just inbox me and I'll give you the scoop and you can pay me for it. Don't do that. Please just go on the website and do it yourself. My goodness. I tell you, I have just been seeing so much online. It's so ridiculous. It's ridiculous and it's sad. So, deductions. That was another thing I want to talk about. I didn't save it, I don't think. Let me see if I messaged myself it. Because that's usually what I do. I'll text myself to my Google Voice number so that I can remember. And I guess I didn't. It sucks. Let's see if it's on this one. Nope, it's not. I think I shared it on Facebook though. If any of you guys, it's on an estimate. You estimate how much you're going to pay yourself for the year, and then you work it from there. If you pay too much, you're going to get a refund. If you don't pay enough, you're going to owe. If you pay just enough, then you don't have to worry about worry about it either way. All right. Let me see. So I know you guys have been seeing me share a lot on the different things that I've been creating. The only reason why I'm sharing it is because I'm using it. If I'm using something and I feel like it works, I'm going to share it with you guys because that is my duty to you. My duty to you is to help you with your notary business and figuring out all the different things that you may not be aware of. Let me see. Oh, I gotta type it in because I had came across. Was it this one? It was this one. All right. So if you are not using a tax preparer who is familiar with all of the many deductions that small businesses and notaries can deduct from their taxes, then you may want to find someone who is familiar. Okay. I've been using a tax preparer for the past 3 years who claims to be a notary, but she was not able to tell me all of the many things that I can deduct. So I had to find this stuff out on my own. So hopefully, yes. So hopefully you guys won't have to go through that. Okay. What they don't have on here is the notary stamp. And I wanted to share that page with you specifically because I know you're hearing that people are saying it, but it's actually on the IRS website. Okay. You should be, if you're not already, you should be keeping track of every notary stamp that you make. The reason being is because our notary stamps are not taxable. Okay. I'll say it again. You should be keeping track of every notary stamp that you make because our notary stamps are not taxable. Okay? Does everybody understand that? So, what that means that is if you have not, which I did not do that last year or the year before that, you're going to have to go back through your journal and count every stamp. And I had to do this from January 2022 to December 2023. No, I'm sorry, January 2023 to December 2023, because I'm not going back to 2022 and 2021. And I don't even think I did a whole bunch of 2020, but those taxes are done and I'm not getting them amended for that. It just is what it is. When you know better, you do better, right? So I had to go back and I had to count all of my stamps, and it was a lot. And so I thought I was done. And then I realized I'm a remote online notary too. You know how many platforms I'm signed up on? I'm signed up on, let me see, 5 different platforms. 5. So I had to go to 5 different remote online platforms and go through my journal that is on there. And I had to count all of the stamps, which means that I had to go into the transaction and I had to see how many documents I notarized for each freaking customer. This was a very long process, but in total for last year, I stamped 949 documents. That's how many times I stamped. That doesn't mean, the documents that you just sign. How many stamps did you apply? I stamped 949 times. That's why my stamps run out of ink. So that is what you can give your tax preparer. Now, because this year I don't want to go through that. I don't. So at the end of every day, I have to record my mileage for the day in total. I keep track with this mileage log. I already keep track with the mileage log that I made. Okay. I also have to keep track of my notary stamps now. And because I do online and in person, I have to keep track of both. And so luckily I use Zoho Books, and it has a feature where I can create a custom module that will help me keep track of my notary stamps. So every day I go in Zoho Books and I record my mileage for the day. And now I have to record my stamps for the day. Yes, that is a lot of work. Is it worth it? It will be at the end of the year. It will save me from having to do what I did this year, which was go back through all of my journals, all of those platforms to count up all those stamps. I did not do that last year or before that. What happens if you didn't keep track of it? What happens if you didn't keep track of it? It just means that you don't get the deduction. That's it. You, screwed yourself out of a deduction. Same thing I did. I screwed myself out of a deduction. I screwed myself out of mileage too because I kept mileage all the way from January to April last year. And then I stopped. So yeah, I did not do good record keeping because I was working a full-time job. I'll just tell the truth, and I didn't feel like it. So I'm not doing that to myself this year though, because I'm a full-time business owner now, and I need to get all of the deductions. So let me drop this link for you. I did a lot of signings and don't remember how many. I know, Stephanie. Oh my goodness. Why you do not log each stamp per customer? I do log each stamp per customer, Gail, in my journal. But once it goes in my journal, that's it. I don't keep no extra record. So now that, you know, it's imperative that we, not just me, keep track of how many notary stamps you did a day. You have to go back to your journal and count up the stamps. Not unless you're writing it on a separate sheet at the end of every customer, which I'm not doing. I'm just not doing it. I have to do it when I get home. But yeah, I shared the link right there, Stephanie, for this. And then let me show you. I forgot the name of the darn form. Let me see if it tells me. It is a lot. But if you have efficient practices so that you can stay organized, it becomes routine. Like now, it becomes routine that I keep this clipboard with me. It has my mileage on here. It has my appointment page on here. And it also has the cities that I can cover because remember I told you guys I've been working from home and I don't know where places are for the most part. So I have to know, if I get a call for a signing, I need to be able to go on here quickly. I have this same spreadsheet on my phone, but it's a little bit, it's more steps, okay, to get to it on my phone as opposed to me just having it as a printout. So that's why I have it as a printout. I wanted to show you guys, frick. I need to show you guys the page that shows the notary stamps for the IRS. Mm. Mm. No. Let me see. I think it's on here. Let me see. Here it is. It's the IRS Publication 17 form. Okay. So I'm going to click this here. And I'm going to show you guys that information. So I'm going to search here. So it could take us right to it because I'm not about to scroll through these pages. All right, here. All right, so you guys probably can't see that, huh? Let's see if I can make this bigger. Make the page bigger. No. Here we go. All right. Oh man, did I lose? Okay, let's search for it again. Okay, here we go. All right. Fees for services include all fees for your services in your income. Examples of these fees are amounts you receive for services you perform as a corporate director, an executor, administrator, or personal representative of an estate, a manager of a trade or business you operated, and bam, notary public. Now, if you scroll down to page 76. It says here, Notary Public, report payments for these services on Schedule C. These payments aren't subject to self-employment tax. See the separate instructions for Schedule SE, Form 1040 for details. Okay, guys, you hear that? If you're using Notary Gadget, they will keep track of stamps, miles, etc. Okay, so for those of you who are not using it, check it out. I don't use Notary Gadget. I have the option in my bookkeeping software. But if you guys are not using any type of software to keep track, Notary Gadget is where it's at. Speaking of stamps, where did you get your acknowledgement stamp from? I don't see it available on NNA. I got mine from, it's All States Notary Supplies, I think. Share the NNA link. Oh, this one here. There you go. And Vernita. Let me see. I think it's called All States or All States Notary Supplies. Let me see. Okay, here it is. This is where I got my notary certificate stamp. I'll share the link for you. You're welcome, Stephanie. There you go, Vernita. And they cover all states. Ooh, 17% off your order. I mean, you can get your stamp a little cheaper. Another place sells them too. And I don't remember. Is it Notary Public Stamps? Yeah, the American Association of Notaries. You're right, Terry, but the certificate stamp for Florida wasn't a good one. The last time I checked, the certificate stamp is what we're talking about. Yeah, this is another place too. Notary Public Stamps. I got various stamps from Amazon, which I love. You guys got to be careful about the brand name that you order on Amazon for their stamps. Okay. I don't have my bag up here, so I couldn't even show you. Let me see. Where is it? Notary certificate, notarial certificates. The stamp. Where's the stamp? Hmm. I'm just gonna type in Florida. Let's see. No. Oh God, I can't find it. I think this is the website though, where they have the notary certificate stamp at to Bernita. Oh, yeah, here it goes. Florida acknowledgement stamp, Florida jurat stamp, Florida certified copy stamp. So here are all those stamps. And the brand Trodat is really good. It's another one I get. Does it start with the E? Yeah, I think it's Excel, I think. Excel brand stamp, I think is what it's called. So I'm gonna share this link for you. Yes, it is. American Association of Notaries, which I'm a member of. So if you're a member, you may get this a little cheaper. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm already signed in. So that's why it says the list price, your price. I only get $1 discount being a member. That's not a whole lot. Oh, well. So I wanted to tell you guys about notaries overcharging. And I hate having to talk about fees all the time. It's like it's a never-ending thing. Notary fees. It's like a never-ending topic of discussion. And I don't know why it is such, it's kind of like a political type thing where people get really up in arms about it, and it's just like, what the heck? So I had a couple call me around six something, I think, um, to come and get some documents notarized. And so the father, it was a guy, he called me. He said, my daughter wants to get some documents notarized for school. And I was like, oh, all right. I'm thinking it's just a school affidavit. I'm used to getting those. So he said, my daughter's going to be calling you. And I was like, okay. So his daughter calls me and she says, she needs to get a document notarized. Am I open? I say, yes, I am. Mhm. You're right, Vernita, yes. Um, they need to get something notarized. Want to know if I was open. I said, yes, I'm open until 8 o'clock. And so she was like, okay, I'm going to be on my way. I said, okay, well, how far are you? Because I just sat down to eat. I was eating some pizza. I didn't want to be eating when they come. She's like, well, we're going to be on our way. We're coming from, and she told me the city. And I said, oh, okay. So I'm like, I got about 15, maybe, minutes or whatever. So I was able to finish eating. They came and it was her and her husband and her two friends. And so I'm like, "Oh, okay." And they're like, "Yeah, hi." They're like, we were told by our attorney to bring witnesses." I was like, "Oh, all right. Well, everybody have a seat." Everybody comes in, they have a seat. I'm like, "Okay, let's see what you got." She breaks out this folder and they have a will, a deed, power of attorney. I'm like, "Oh my goodness." I'm like, "Okay." And so I'm looking over the documents, seeing what I have to do. Out of all the documents, I only need to notarize 4 pages, but it was 8 pages that needed to be signed. Of four of them is what I needed to notarize. And so I'm like, okay, let me get everybody's ID. I do my whole process. And, we're chit chatting and talking and everything, but I'm done in like maybe 20 minutes, I guess. And so I get everything together. I'm counting, making sure I got everything in the journal. And so I let her know. I'm like, okay, we have 4 stamps. I have an additional signer. It's going to be $50. And so I'm going to my bookkeeping on my phone to enter in the invoice and everything. She has a credit card. So I'm putting all that in. And so I hear them talking to each other. And she's like, wow, $50. That's really great. That's better than the last one we got. And so I was like, oh, I was like, you were going to use someone else? What happened? She was like, well, we were going to use a mobile notary, but they quoted us $500. I said, what? $500 for 4 documents? They already brought their witnesses. I don't charge for witnesses unless I provide them. If they provide their own witnesses, I'm not charging for that. I don't charge for witnesses unless I provide them. Okay. So she already brought witnesses, but it's her and her husband signing. So I had to charge for the additional signer. Okay. It was $50. It didn't take me an hour or two. It was really quick. Everything was already there. The attorney tagged all the documents already. So all I had to do was make sure I filled out my certificates, I stamped, made sure the witnesses signed. $500. And so it just, I don't know. I don't understand how do you calculate $500 for that? I know when people are online on these Facebook pages, even on YouTube, and people are telling them, if for estate planning documents, I don't charge less than $500. I don't charge less than 250. I don't charge less than 150. If I had traveled to them, it would have been $70. 70, okay? Not 500. $500? And then the sad thing about that is, as long as the customer agrees to it, there's nothing you can do about it. But I know that if I'm coming to you, I'm not going to send other people to you for $500. I may let you sucker me because I need it done and I don't feel like going nowhere else, but I'm not referring nobody to you to pay that price. I'm not. That is ridiculous. Okay. I'm like, where were they driving from? Were they driving like 2 hours to see you or something? Like what? $500? What in the whole heck? They provided their own witnesses. They printed out their own paper. They burned their own gas to come to me. I didn't have to go nowhere. It did not take me 30 minutes to do the job. If it had took me, the 30 minutes, then I start charging, you know, but my word, look, I get it. We are all in this business to make money, but we do not need to try to hit it big off of one customer. One customer? I had four gentlemen who came to my office, okay, with their attorney. And all four men was each other's witnesses, but all of them had their own estate documents. So yes, I charged them um it was almost 250, okay? Because they were at my house for like 3 hours, and it was some thick packs. But it was four guys. Four. So if I charged them almost 250, that means that they probably paid what, $60 a piece? What, you gonna sit up there and tell them $500 a piece? Oh, you done hit it big and you ain't gonna never see them again. I encourage you. Yes, make your money. Okay. But I want you to create repeat business for yourself. You're not going to be in business that long if you are robbing people. Okay. You're not. If you are going to shell out fees like that, make sure that you know how to break it down and explain what that fee costs. Okay. I am a big person on knowing what I'm spending my money on. Is it worth it? You know, for some people, $500 may be worth it to them. It was the last minute. They don't want to go nowhere else. You're the only person to answer the phone. So they may be like, you know what? I don't care. I'll pay or whatever because I need it. They may not be back though. They may not be back. I have had customers that have referred business to me, and I've made so much money off of repeat business. Okay. That same customer that I did tonight and charged $50, she's going to give my card to her attorney friends who are going to use me. Do you know how much money I'm going to make if their attorneys contact me? So, did I need to charge her $500? Did I really need to? I didn't do much of anything, really. That's the key. The key to staying in this business, guys, is making repeat business. Be fair with your fees. Okay. Make sure that your fees make sense. Make sure you can break them down. When my customers sit at my table, I have a fee schedule right there on the wall. So while I'm doing up their paperwork and looking through everything that I'm about to tell them they're going to pay me, it's right there on the wall. They don't have to question, what is that for? Why do I got to pay that much? They don't have to question it. It's right there on the wall. Be transparent with your customers. Build long, trusted relationships with your customers. You will be blessed with an abundance of business from your customers. Satisfied customers bring more customers. All right. So I just want to leave that message with you guys. $500, that's crazy. Stephanie, when I tell you, I'm still upset about it. I'm still upset about it because I'm like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. That's crazy. I'll tell you, I had a couple come from out of town and I provided the witnesses for them. They came, they had a binder from their attorney. Okay. That was a $200 job. I was with them for a little over an hour and I provided witnesses and I did like, I don't even know how many notarizations. But when they see I'm going through the documents, I'm double checking, I'm professional, I provided them additional resources they didn't have. You think they're not coming back? They have come back to me actually before. You know, it's just all of that makes sense and matters. When you just out here just doing people wrong, and then the only thing you can say is, "I know my worth." Do you know your customer's worth? Are your customers not worth anything? They're just a dollar sign. You don't care about building up your portfolio of professional services, being a servant to your community. You don't care about none of that, right? Then you're in the wrong profession because that is what a commission notary is. You're supposed to be a person of integrity, somebody that we can trust. And I'm not trusting nobody that's going to charge me $500 to notarize 4 documents. I'm not. And then it's not like there's a lot of traffic right now because some people, their thing is, oh, well, um, I had to drive and sit in the traffic. There's no traffic right now. There was no traffic 2 hours ago when they were here. So I don't understand what the $500 equaled. Like what I don't know. I had a lady in a hotel next to the airport needed one document notarized before her flight. Someone charged her $400. Then she called me. Did she pay the $400, Jesse? Look at this, y'all. We can't make this stuff up. And you know what? The same people that charge those fees, they come online bragging. Oh, my customers, they don't pay me nothing less than $200. Did you see those customers? Have you ever seen those customers again? That's the question. You got paid that fee, but did those customers call you back? I have customers that I have been servicing since I became a notary. They just call me whenever they need a notary. They don't use anyone else. I had two ladies that live in my neighborhood. Um, they told me that the reason they called me is because they can trust me. I'll tell you guys, I had a signing today and it was an e-signing. So I was not required to print up any documents. All I was required to do was scan the documents that she needed for a reverse mortgage application. So she had to scan, the documents she needed to qualify, right? So when I got there, I scanned all the documents in, and the company, they forgot to email me the link, the DocuSign link that I would access while I was there with her. Okay. So I was calling and I called and they finally called back and they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I forgot to approve and release the information. So, oh, okay. See, Jesse. And so next time she need a notary, that's who she gonna call. She gonna call you because it just makes sense. Now, $40, that makes sense. Thank you, Jesse, for being that trusted individual that you're supposed to be as a notary. All right. You did your job. But yeah, so today, all I needed to do was do that. I scanned her stuff in and we waited for the link. They finally emailed me the link. Oh, thank you, Vernita. And thank you, Gail. I took out my iPad, clicked the link. All she had to do was create her signature. You know how to do DocuSign, right, guys? She created her signature and she clicked sign, 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 finish. And I was done. And so at the end, it asked her, did she want to email the documents to herself or did she want to download them? And she was like, oh, I would like to download and print it. I was like, well, I didn't bring a printer, but I forgot I have a printer in my car. And I was like, yeah, this here is only a scanner that I have. I was like, oh, you know what? I have a printer in my car. And she was like, well, I know you don't have to, but I would really like it if you could print it for me because I don't have, computers and stuff here. And, they'll email it to me, but I'll only be able to look at it on my phone. And you can imagine how small that is. I said, say no more. I'm going to go out to my car and I'll print these documents up for you and I'll be right back. And so I left my things. I went out to my car and I printed 107 pages for this lady, but she was so happy. And she was like, thank you so much for helping me. It's just been so hard to get people that you can trust to work with. And when I tell y'all, when people praise me like that, it brings tears to my eyes. Like, you know how you have to like keep blinking so that you don't cry. But yes, Bernita, that setup. But I'm just like, I'm so tired of people using people. You know, if your only motivation in life for doing anything is money, that just has to be a miserable life. I'm sorry. Now, any other person would have been like, I'm not about to print. Now, let me go back and let me tell you, I was only paid $45 for the job, but I didn't have to do nothing. All I had to do was bring my iPad, did some scans, whatever. When I tell you guys the freedom that this job gives me of being able to leave my home, explore cities that I would not have been able to explore otherwise, I just love getting out and meeting people. And it's not to say, well, you out here having fun, you ain't making no money. I'm making money. And along the way, I'm building relationships. All of these people whose lives I get to touch, even if it's just for 30 minutes or an hour, they never forget me. And they never forget me in a good way. Like, I would hate to be remembered because I was that notary that charged somebody $500 for 15 minutes of my time. Okay. I don't want to be remembered in that way. I want to be remembered as the person who was empathetic, trusting, professional, understanding, all of those positive, motivating terms. That's what I want to be remembered as. And thank you, Stephanie. Yeah, Bernita, when I tell you this is a great saying, I got to share this. The freedom that gives you to not be somewhere, you're always ready to be somewhere else. I love that. I love it. But yeah, guys, that was all I had for today. That was all I had. I had to share that last one with you guys because I was just blown back. They were like, we are taking your card and we are going to use you again. And we're definitely going to share it with all of our attorney friends and our attorney. I said, won't he do it? Won't he do it? you know, it pays to be a good person. That is a true statement. I have no doubt that I will be hearing from some of their resources. Okay. So that is what I will leave you guys with. Oh, let me talk about, because I don't talk about it enough. I'll get better, I promise. So I wrote a second book. I did share it on the YouTube and I shared it on Facebook and Instagram and some other channels that I have. That book will be released February 1st. It is my second book. I'm really proud of it. And I read it more than once, obviously. I wrote it and then I read it to proofread it and then I rewrote it again. And yeah, been working on it since last year. It's a good book. It's a good book. And it speaks to a lot of what I've just been talking about. Being positive, okay? Affirmations, channeling the wealth that is already within you. That's what the book is about. And it has a lot of affirmative quotes. It has some mantra songs in there that you can sing to any beat you wish. I was singing while I was writing them. It's short but sweet, and I hope that you guys get the opportunity to purchase it and read it because I really think it's a really good book. When I wrote the book, I wanted to make sure that it was more general. My first book I wrote, this one was just for notaries. Okay. The second book I wrote is for business owners, any and everywhere, small business owners, how to channel the wealth within. Because I believe that when we first start our business and we have all the tools we need, we forget one thing, one important thing. You guys guess what that is? It's the one thing we need to help us move forward that we always forget. Oh, yay, Bernita. I'm so excited. I just showed you the issue. Hold on, guys. I just shared with you what the issue was. This is a notary platform online. And the customer kept canceling the session. I gotta delete these pictures out my phone. Yes, it is, Stephanie. Let me share this. Thank you, Terry. Over the weekend, I went to brunch to discuss business, tax write-off. When we were paying, we left a nice note on the receipt for the server along with the tip. That's awesome, Stephanie. And yes, it is a tax write-off. Anything you do that's business, when you guys go to networking events, tax write-off. When I go and sit down with people that I've met at networking events, tax write-off. He came outside to thank us because he was having a crappy day and our notes made him smile. I also included my card and he asked for more copies to share with others. Yeah, see? That is so awesome, Stephanie. That is awesome that you were able to make somebody else's day. Because that's free. Sharing a smile, giving a smile, free. Free. Why we don't do it more often, I have no idea. I like to smile. I smile a lot. I've been talked about for smiling too much. I was told at one of my jobs that I loved, which I grew to hate, unfortunately, because of other people, that they were saying that I must be retarded because nobody is happy that much, or nobody is happy all the time, or something. It was something along the lines of that, and I was taken aback. Like, I am happy. Like, I'm a medical assistant. I got my first job where I'm doing medical assistant work. I'm pretty damn happy about it, and they quickly made me hate that job. Yeah, they said I was retarded. I must be retarded. I'm sorry. Not that I am retarded. I must be retarded because nobody is that happy all the time. Yeah, honey. Yeah. And I'm still just as happy. Not retarded. I'm just a happy person. I love being able to have a new day with new opportunities. That's just how I look at it. I'm just a happy person. I can be an unhappy person, if I'm sleepy, if I'm hungry, I get a little unhappy. Yeah, you do not want to be around me with that. When people disrespect me, when people play on my kindness, that makes me unhappy, but for the most part, I'm a very happy person. I just am. I don't know. Exactly, Bernita. Exactly. Stephanie's so silly. She gonna say something. The way my head just snapped, I almost got Yes, girl. People are a trip. So yes, for those of you who have access to the library, I have the mileage log in there. I have the stamp tracker. Now, without further ado, let's do this game. I almost forgot and I was about to log off. I can't believe you guys didn't remind me to do the game. You are so right, Stephanie. And positivity spreads. It spreads. Like you said, it's contagious. All right. Let me share my screen. Or do I want to share my screen? No, I'm just going to read it off. Now, you guys got to participate. That's the only way that we could play the game. You have to participate and comment in the chat, okay? All right, so let's do scenario number 1. Your customer calls you to get a quick claim deed and warranty deed signed and notarized. What questions do you need to ask? Knowing that they're going to be notarizing a quick claim deed and warranty deed, what questions do you need to ask? Let's see. Correct, Bernita. Witnesses. Can you provide witnesses? Do you have valid identification? Okay. We need to know that. Absolutely. Bernita and Stephanie are both correct. So next, you set the appointment. Explain to the customer what will be required. You meet the customer and they arrive prepared with the document in hand. With documents. You review the document and you notice the document has 2 witness lines, print name, sign name. What additional information is required? What additional information is required? Bingo. Good job, Stephanie. The witnesses have to add their addresses because both of those deeds are conveyance deeds. And a conveyance deed is a document that transfers property ownership from one person to the other. All right. You don't notice any additional lines for this information. So, what do you do? Correct. Stephanie and Bernita, both answers are right. Create some lines, have them write the information on it, or have them write it under the signature. That is correct, ladies. So that was scenario 1. I can't believe people are dropping off. This is the information that you guys want to stay for. Okay. Because I talk about business information all the time, and I wanted to talk about general notary stuff, because there are some people who have not started notarizing documents yet, and they kind of need to know this information or have them write in the space on the page where they sign. Right. Yep. All right. Let's go to scenario number 2. Your customer calls to get a power of attorney signed and notarized. They ask if their niece can be a witness. You reply yes, because technically, as long as the witness is not their parent, spouse, or child, they could be a witness and they got to be 18, right? Yeah, I almost forgot about the game. I'm sorry, guys. All right. So you reply yes, the niece can be a witness, right? You explain to the customer what will be required. You then meet the customer and they arrive prepared with document in hand, and your customer arrives with their niece, and you, the notary, will be the second witness. Okay. You review the document and notice that the niece is listed as a beneficiary recipient on the document. What do you do? Okay, Terry. Um, the niece is listed as a beneficiary recipient on the document. So what do you do? Yes, Stephanie, you got to get another witness. The niece is already listed in the document as being a beneficiary recipient. So she can't sign as a witness and sign the document too. Yep. Would need an additional witness. She cannot be the witness anymore. Good job, guys. Let's go to scenario number 3. Your customer calls you to get an agreement signed and notarized for their mother. She is having work done to her rental property. You set the appointment. You explain to the customer what will be required. You meet the customer and they arrive prepared with the document in hand. You review it and notice that the mother is the one who needs to sign the document. What do you do? Correct, Terry. You were answering for the other one, right? So the customer shows up to get a document signed for their mother, but the mom is the one who needs to be there, not the child, right? Not the adult child. So you got to let them know you're going to have to get your mom, and we have to reschedule. Correct, Stephanie. And Bernita, correct. No bueno. All right. Scenario number 4. Your customer calls you to get an application signed and notarized. You set the appointment, explain to the customer what will be required. You meet the customer and they arrive prepared with document in hand. You review the document and notice it is not filled in. All the pages are blank, but he has signed the signature page that requires the notary information. What do you do? Let me know if you guys want me to read that again for you. Correct, Stephanie. You can't notarize it, it's blank. So you're going to have to tell the customer to fill it out. After they fill it out, then you can notarize it. Correct, Bernita, that too, because he already signed it. Make sure that certificate is an acknowledgement. What I tell all my customers, whether it's an acknowledgement or jurat, just come with the document not signed. Okay, let's just sign it in my presence. That'll make me feel better. So, yes, that's correct. You can't do anything until he fills out that document completely where needed, and then you can sign and notarize it for him. All right, scenario number 5. Your customer calls you to get a letter signed and notarized. You set the appointment, explain to the customer what will be required. You meet the customer, and they arrive prepared with document in hand. You review the document and notice that it is missing notary verbiage. So, what do you do? That's right, too, Stephanie. That's correct, Terry. You guys are on the ball. I love it. Hopefully, anyone who is watching this on replay please make sure that you leave in the comments, if you're watching a replay, hashtag replay, and answer those scenarios for me, okay? I would really like to hear your feedback. Correct. So, Bernita, yes, you would attach a certificate, but make sure you ask them which certificate, what notarization type they want. And Stephanie, yes, that is correct. So, there is no certificate. We cannot sign and stamp a document without the certificate stating what took place. Okay. Yes, that's correct too, Vernita. So you're going to have to either handwrite or stamp on the page itself, see attached certificate, and then attach a loose certificate that the customer chooses. Or if you have enough room, you can stamp the type of notarization that they have chose and then fill it in like that. Okay. But yes, we do have to attach the certificate and we cannot choose the type. The customer has to choose it. Scenario number 6. Your customer calls you to get a general affidavit signed and notarized. You set the appointment, explain to the customer what will be required. You meet the customer and they arrive prepared with document in hand. You review the document and notice that the certificate wording states, on this date before me, a notary public appeared, signer, who subscribed and sworn to or affirmed to the accuracy of the above mentioned information. What type of notarization is this? Yep, correct, ladies. It is a jurat. Correct. What additional step is required? Benita already answered. What additional step is required for a jurat? Correct. Can you guys tell us what your oath administration is? I would like to hear it. Some people's are short and sweet. Some people's are a little longer. I would like to hear what your oath sounds like that you administer to your customer. Yes, it is an oath, but I want to know what verbiage you use for your oath because you have to administer it. You can't just say, all right, so this is a jurat, so I have to give you an oath. All right, sign here. No, you start reciting the oath. So, what is the oath that you recite? Stephanie, there is not a specific one. You just have to just say it. So I'll give you guys mine. So I asked the person, I need for you to answer with I swear or affirm. I swear is to God. I affirm is on your own honor. Do you swear that the statements made in this document are true to your knowledge? I swear or affirm. That's it. All right, Bernita gave us one. Do you solemnly swear under penalty of perjury that the information contained in this document is true and correct to the best of your knowledge, so help you God? Okay, there you go. That's a good one. Or affirmation, swear on your honor. That's good, Bernita. Thank you. All right. I got 2 more. Oh, shit. No, I don't. I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna stop there because I went all the way to number 10, and what I'm gonna do is save the last 4 for another Q&A. Do you share and or swear or affirm that the contents of the document is true? That's the even shorter one, Terry. There you go. There you go. I love it. All right. So, what did you guys think about that? Was that cool? I know, right? All right. So, that was 1 through 6. What I should have did was I should have just did 3, and that way I could have spread it out. But it's okay. Excuse me. I'll try to think of some more. We stopped at number 6. I have 4 more to share with you, and we can do that on another Q&A. All right, I'm happy you had fun with it. I wanted to do that because I know y'all get tired of hearing me talk about business stuff, but y'all have to understand that this I've had businesses before, but this business is new for me. And as I'm learning information, I'm sharing it with you. Okay. So that is why you hear me talk a lot about the business aspects of it, because I feel like we talk about notary so much. It's like it's only so much that we can do when it comes to notary. But there are some of you who have just started following me, and that is what you're following me for. So I want to make sure I give you what you need. There are also some people who have been notarizing as long as me or longer. And so they're like, I don't want to hear all that. I want to hear the business stuff. Let me hear about the business stuff so I can see if it's something that I've been missing, or maybe it's something I've been doing and I can share with you how I do the same thing. So that's why. So we're going to do the next scenarios on another day. And then also what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to some of my notary quizzes that I had last year, and we can do those too. So I definitely just want to pick everybody's brain about notary practices, and people who are not yet doing notary, they can feed off of you guys, and not just me, off of your knowledge and take notes, and that can help them out in the field. Oh, right. Bernita said doing it wrong the whole time. Oh, I love you guys. All right, guys. Now I am going to go for real. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed this. Don't forget to share the videos. I'm the only one who share my videos. Please share the videos if you think that they will be helpful to someone. And don't forget to subscribe. Some people are saying, I didn't know you were going live. You have to subscribe. When you click the bell, you will be notified when I'm going to go live. All right. So, other than that, guys, have a good night. Have a wonderful week. I'll talk to you guys again on Monday, and I will try to let you know if we're going to do another book review. I think we're on guide 5. I think. Let me see. Oh, no, we're on 4A. Guide 4A, how to create an engaging social media post. That should be fun. All right, guys. Good night. Bye. Good idea, Bernita. And you know what? I think I can make a folder for the book reviews only. I'm gonna do it. And Bernita, I would like you to tell me if you notice the folder. Okay, because I don't know if the folder is gonna show only for me or show for you guys too. So I'm gonna find the book reviews and put them in one folder. And then you let me know if that works, okay? All right, guys. Good night. Bye.